All right, guys, we're just coordinating here. I will try to change the title of my stream because we're not swearing and we're not playing Cuphead. All right, guys, we're just coordinating here.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going? Yep.
Good. Doing all right. Yeah, I think the other streamer was around earlier today. I'm not sure where they are now, though.
It's all good. I'm sending you the server info.
Cool. How's my audio? Is it coming in quiet, or not quiet, but at a good level?
Yeah, it's coming in great.
Perfect. New mic and all.
It sounds crystal clear.
Even when I come this close. No?
Yep, that's great.
Good stuff. I'm just booting up Tabletop Simulator now.
Okay, I think we're waiting on a judge. Do we have a judge?
Oh, we do not have one signed up currently.
Okay, all right. Let me set the stream up a little bit better. See if I can get the name changed on it. This Twitch beta is terrible. Oh, let me change it off the beta site. Here we go.
Yeah, you got to do everything through the dashboard. A little confusing.
Yeah, I did that. Oh, there it goes. It did update. Okay, I did that. It just wasn't showing updated on my refreshed
do
thing.
everything through the dashboard. A little confusing. It's looking good on my screen.
Yeah. All right, now let me get my pop-out chat.
So yeah, I recommend the top-down perspective. I don't know if you've got a specific plan.
Yeah, I'm just doing, like just over the top with the rings on the right and the
Yeah,
on the left.
Hit P. If you want.
Okay.
Send you to the top-down perspective. It's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm just gonna zoom in a hair. All right, are you in here? Are you in the game room right now?
Oh yeah, I'm Void Circuit.
Okay, cool.
Oh, yes,
I hid the UI, so I will let them know we're good. So we will get started here. It looks like we have already decided that HatamotoJoe playing Crab will be going second. So Khift on the Dragon will be going first.
Right, and that gives Joe an extra fate, which will be very helpful in getting characters with a couple extra fate on them, or perhaps saving them for some conflict characters later on in the turn.
It also helps having the Dragon player not start with 8 fate, one less attachment they can play.
Yeah, exactly. They've really got to be worried about a Ni-10 Master coming out on turn 1 that can potentially be participating in 3 conflicts.
Yeah, that's a good point because if he gets that out, I'm assuming he would put it out with 2 fate, saving 1 left over, and then that he would also be the first one to pass.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd have 2 fate to play weapons. He really just needs to hit a katana, and then he could even do a 2 ancestral dice show, assuming he does not hit the blanket on the name, the card that discounts stuff.
The Daimyo's Favor.
All right.
Go ahead. Take it away.
We have a Doom Shigenja coming out, the Ni-10 Adept, the Ni-10 Master, and the Hatomo Courtier for Khift, and I'll let you do Joe for us.
All right. On the top here, we have Steadfast Witch Hunter. We have a Caillou Envoy. We have a Borderlands Defender. And, of course, we have a Vanguard Warrior. Definitely going to see that Caillou Envoy coming out. It is a really good card. It gives you 1 fate upon it leaving, as well as an extra card. So it basically pays for itself and is a 1/0 for a conflict, which is great.
On the other side, we have Khift coming out with a Doom Shugenja, a 1-cost 3/3. The downside to that is you cannot play more than one Doom Shugenja in a round, and then also you cannot place Fate on her when she is pulled out.
Yeah, so this is actually one of the best openings you can have as a dragon player, because you really want to get Niten Master out early and start adding attachments to them, especially with 2 Fate. And then you don't necessarily want to put all of your resources into one character unless they get dishonored or something like that. And the best choice is a Doom Shugenja, which is only costs 1. It's only going to be around for 1 turn, but that's okay because it's a 3/3.
Yeah, there's not no one else has a 1-cost 3/3 that they can get around even for a single turn. So massive value for the dragon, who I think one of their strengths is that tempo, the Doom Shugenja, and then also the Niten Master being able to extend him onto the board so much with just one character participating in 3 of the 4 conflicts every turn can be an absolute nightmare to deal with.
Yeah, it's incredible value. All right, so Joe responded with a Witch Hunter with only a single Fate. Generally, you want to keep characters with large costs out for multiple turns, but the Crab player has a lot of tools for keeping characters out past their normal expiration date with cards like Reprieve, the Vanguard Warrior, and potentially Good Omens, but I don't think we'll be seeing that here today.
Yeah, we see a 5 bid come out from the Dragon player. Not surprising at all. They will likely be bidding 5 as long as they can. HatamotoJoe decides to not pressure Honor all the way and get some cards instead, and still start to begin to pressure that Honor.
Yeah, I think that bid of 3 is more of a just a probing bid. He doesn't really want to commit to drawing 5 each turn yet, and it also puts you in an okay position for doing something like an Assassinate later on in the turn, especially since Khift does have a 1-cost card that is a prime target.
Khift trying to figure out what he wants to do for his first conflict. Almost certainly this will be a political conflict. The Niten Master likes to swing in political first, so then he can throw a weapon on and ready, and be ready for a military conflict afterwards.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I definitely agree. Rings here, Void seems okay because you can take away that Steadfast Witch Hunter, and that's what he opts to do. He's going in blind. He's choosing not to hit a province with cards on them already, but just as you predicted, Niten Master, political attack, Void.
And he hits the Meditations on the Tao, which is one of the more depressing cards to hit as Dragon. You'll pretty much always be hitting it with a good target for them.
Yeah, exactly. Because, of course, it reads, action, remove a Fate from an attacking character. And the Niten Master is the character you want to last for a long time as the Dragon player. So, not a great hit. I think you would prefer to hit maybe a Defend the Wall, perhaps maybe a Manicured Garden, but at least it's not a shameful display.
So we see court games coming out to honor the Niten Master, giving him a 5.
Yep, 5-0. The 0 is there more for body, potentially a fan, and to not lose an extra honor on the undefended attack. Khift's or Joe's thinking here, and there's the assassination we talked about. That's going to stop the Doom Shugenja from being able to participate in additional fights. Oh, interesting.
He plays that not into the combat. That's really interesting.
Yeah, I think the more interesting thing is why even play it now? What's he worried about?
I'm not sure, because he needs a Daimo's favor to even be able to afford to put the favored mount to get him in.
Favored mount, exactly.
So having him out of the conflict right now doesn't do anything to my knowledge.
This might be more of a stalling tactic. He wants to see how much Khift is willing to put into this conflict.
Yeah. If he's gonna play that anyway, it forces HatamotoJoe to pass first.
Okay, and it's back to Khift
because he's currently not breaking.
Isn't he currently breaking?
No, because of the Shiro Nishiyama. It is 5-2.
The envoy has a 0 political.
Oh, it's political. Yes, correct. My bad. Yes, then he is breaking.
Yeah, so he's content to pass. We see a court game's coming on to dishonor the Niten Master. We can't do a follow-up one because we've already seen one, but a fan does drop. This is pretty good. It's going to probably have to be dropped at a later date in order to ready the Niten Master, but if you're breaking a province on turn 1, I think it's a pretty good play.
We had a great point coming out of chat. Something I totally forgot about in this matchup, which will be crucial as we go forward. Way of the Crab. So he's dropping the Tattooed Wanderer so he can sack it in case HatamotoJoe was trying to Way of the Crab out his Niten Master.
Okay, yeah. And of course, Way the Crab says, sacrifice one of your characters, pay 1 fate, and force your opponent to sacrifice a character. And if Niten Master is the only one left, he has to be the only target, and that's a big source of removal.
Yeah,
that's very smart play coming from Khift.
That is the biggest fear the Dragon player has here. The Doom Shugenja was assassinated for chat.
Okay, Restoration of Balance is being hit by Joe. Not going to be a problem here. Only 5 cards in hand, and that's a good thing to get away with early, especially when you've got a low hand size.
So yeah, Restoration of Balance is a really good province for the Dragon because it prevents people from bidding 5 with them. Or if it does, I guess it puts a huge risk on the table for them. That all that time that they could have been putting honor pressure on the Dragon, they just got cards that went away quickly.
Okay, and this is a Military Earth challenge. Khift is currently deciding who he wants to defend with. He has not yet done a military challenge, so keeping the Niten Master back might be a wise decision because he could get a Strength 5 attack here. Losing Earth is not too bad for Khift right now. 1 card down, 1 card up, and it's unlikely to. Well, it's a possible break with a bonsai, maybe a katana or something like that. I expect to see the Niten Master blocking, or at least the Tattooed Wanderer.
Yeah, I don't think Khift wants to give up an undefended pretty much ever in this matchup. Every honor is a card for him, and he needs his cards.
Yeah, I don't think he's too worried about a second assassination coming out. So the Tattooed Wanderer seems fine if he's trying to stop the break. But if he wants to go for the win, which is, again, a fine choice, he'll put the Niten Master in. All right, and it's 5-4. And Kiftel has the first opportunity to play a action. He's ahead, though, so I'll expect a pass.
Yep. Here we see a charge. Probably, yep, the Vanguard Warrior, which will end up just getting sacrificed to keep the Steadfast Witch Hunter around after this turn.
All right, Khift uses his Stronghold's ability to give the Niten Master +2/+2, and he is now in the lead. Joe goes for the bonsai, electing to pay the kicker, and I think he's splitting his.
There's no reason not to split here.
Still not breaking. It is 3 ahead for Joe, and of course you need 4 to break Restoration of Balance. All right, and that's the end of the conflict. Well, maybe not. Khift thinking about it. Yep, there we have it. Okay. Whoa, how did a break happen? Is Restoration Balance only 3? That is.
Yeah, Restoration of Balance is 3. Yep, that's a break. Ooh, that's a big hit on the Earth Ring.
Yep, he loses a Daimyo's Favor, and Joe will draw an extra card.
My guess is Joe has Khift has something he was planning to use with the Daimyo's Favor on the Niten Master to ready for hopefully another break coming in on military, but now that play is off the table since he has no fate.
Yeah. It is the pre-conflict phase, and I don't think Joe wants to let an undefended attack go through, so he will be using the Steadfast Witch Hunter here. But first he's sacking the Vanguard Warrior for a free fate, maybe? We'll see here. He's thinking about it. Okay, so I think we're likely going to see a Fire Ring coming down from Khift. Water Ring doesn't make a whole lot of sense right now. It depends really on what Joe chooses to unbow with the Witch Hunter.
So Khift is he doesn't like to take the fire ring because he runs those mantra of fires.
That's true.
And so he wants a fate there. I don't know if he wants a fate on the fire ring more than he wants the honor right now. The honor on the Niten Master.
Yeah. Okay. So we see a bunch of sacrificing going on for Joe. He's adding one fate to the Witch Hunter through the steadfast Vanguard. What is it? Vanguard Warrior. That's what it is. And then he also sacrifices the Kaiju Envoy to ready the steadfast Witch Hunter. Khift will likely attack water, I guess. Air does something. Air is the most valuable ring here, oddly enough. If he assumes, if we assume he doesn't want to use the fire ring. Okay, he chooses water. Now this is just in case this attack goes undefended. He can still unbow the Niten Master and still defend.
Yep.
Okay. Both players at 4 cards now. Yeah, Joe is able to swing back to a tied position with card advantage. After getting the Earth Ring and the Kaiju Envoy, both players pass, and that's probably going to be the end of this round. So if you're Khift, what are you looking for in turn 2?
I think you're just looking for some more attachments. He knows is HatamotoJoe running any attachment hate?
I don't believe so. I can double check though.
That I think he really wants a Kazue here to try to keep this Niten Master around, or just to flip another Niten Master, potentially a Raitsugu, although the Raitsugu is not amazing against Crab.
Yeah, I think a Gasha Swordsmith would be pretty strong here. It would allow him to get more attachments down quickly, but I think he's going to have to settle for Togashi Yokuni this turn. Though he has to be really careful of Wave the Crab. So I guess he can't just do one big character, or else he's going to be in a poor position.
Yeah, this is not a fantastic flop for Dragon against Crab.
Yeah, again, you would have really hoped for maybe another Doom Shigenja, an Agasha Swordsmith, or a Niten Adept, some sort of low-cost, high-impact character.
I think this matchup is where we see the Aesthetic Visionaries hurt Khift's list the most. Just because they're very, very rarely an optimal play. They can get some huge value on the board if you play them right, but they're also like the only thing you're playing the turn that you play them.
Okay, Joe's played a Yojimbo Defender, Haruma Yojimbo, I should say. That's just there for defense, and I think we'll be pretty good here. I think we're going to have to see the Seeker of Enlightenment just in case Way the Crab comes out. Interesting. Maybe some audio issues for Joe. All right, and I think we're definitely going to see a Borderlands Defender from Joe. Shujisuki is a very strong card, but without a holding in play, they're not going to be able to be too effective. Question is, do we see both of them? I think Joe's probably content to just pull out the Borderlands Defender, take an extra fate, and maybe hope for a Hiruma Ambusher or something like that later in the turn. So the biggest ring this turn is going to probably be whether or not Joe goes for the fire ring. Again, you said Khift is probably going to hold back on that in hopes of getting a Mantra of Fire coming out and adding a bonus fate onto the Seeker of Enlightenment, as it is a monk character.
He can also, if he has another Tattooed Wanderer, he can play it as an attachment to the Niten Master. And then Niten Master would be a target for Mantra of Fire.
Okay. And Borderlands Defender came out. Khift elected to pass, perhaps signaling he has maybe an Ayuchi Wayfinder or another Tattooed Wanderer in hand, or at least a fair amount of attachments. Joe is putting on the honor pressure by bidding 2 to Khift's 5.
So I'm pulling up Joe's list just to see if there's any attachment hate in it. It looks like there is not. So we definitely have the money here to see a Kazue play.
And he is, of course, running 3 of those, right?
Yes, he is. So what he could do here is he could put a Kazue onto the Niten Master. And I'm surprised he didn't put a Fate on the Seeker of Enlightenment just in case he hit a Kazue. Because Kazue allows you to move one Fate from a participating character to the character that Kazue is attached to when she's played as an attachment. That doesn't have to be an opponent's character. And so putting one Fate on the Seeker of Enlightenment would open that play up. So if he moved them both in, he could then steal the Seeker of Enlightenment's Fate to add it to the Niten Master.
Yeah, very good point. And we see an error coming down. So it seems like Joe is really pressuring the honor game. Whether or not this is a long-term strategy, we don't know yet, but it's a good way to try to force the dragon to play a lot of cards and then be scared to draw more cards later in the game. Air also happens to be the crab player's seeker card. So if he wins this conflict, he's going to get a keeper for free.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think honor pressure is one of the strongest things against Dragon, limiting their cards because their cards, quite frankly, they're going to get more value out of every card they draw than pretty much anybody else can. And their tempo on the board is so over the top that it's much easier to fight them in the honor bowls than it is to fight them on the board a lot of the times.
Okay, but we have yet to see who he is sending in. Probably the Witch Hunter and the Borderlands Defender. Okay, so a strong Strength 7 military attack. Who has the favor? Where is the favor, by the way?
I don't know.
Did that get deleted? It might have gotten deleted. Who should have the favor? Khift won.
It
It
should
should be
have
Joe,
been
right?
Joe. Joe won 2 rings, and Kift won 1.
All right. I guess should we bring that up?
Yeah. There's no judge. We should ask if it's being tracked.
Okay. Not sure about that.
All right. So we have a honored Niten Master defending this political. It's 5 to 7.
It's 7-7, I think, because the Niten Master is honored.
No, it's 5 on Joe's side right now.
Oh, 5, right? It's a political attack. Fair
Correct.
enough.
Yep.
Okay.
They found it.
All right. So that brings it to 6. Yeah, Kift has a lot more cards in hand. So this might be a tough one to win, but at least maybe a court games will come down in response. Again, Kift does have the option to use his stronghold, so he's really sitting at a 9, and if he has a second fan in hand, which might not be the best thing to do. Okay, yep, so the Niten Master gets dishonored, and then is right back up to 7 with the stronghold. Joe's definitely going to need to play a fan on that Borderlands Defender to make this a winning fight. I don't think there's many other options at this point.
Yeah, and it's gonna be difficult. Oh, it's gonna. Oh, uh
Perhaps we might see a way of the crab here any moment now.
oh. If Khift has any, he plays I think 6 uh characters he can play from hand.
Yeah, so the Aichi Wayfinders,
He
Kazue would
Khift
be
is
a
not
huge investment.
Khift does not run the HU Wayfinders.
Oh, that's right, because he has the.
He runs the monk package instead. So he has Kazue and the Tattooed Wanderers.
Okay, so Kift is currently ready to go here. Let's see if the way happens. I believe it is currently Kift's action.
Yes.
So if this happens, he's going to be in a rough spot.
Yeah, because the the Yakuni gets discarded at the end of turn no matter what. I don't believe Khift is running charge. Let me look. Pulling that deck list up right now. No, he is running no charges.
Okay, Kift elect to pass, and then Wave the Crab hits the table. Hiromu Yojimbo goes away, and so does the Niten Master. That's going to leave this undefended, and that's going to take Joe down, or that's going to take Kift down to 4 honor.
Yeah, that's brutal.
And that's going to be the second break, so it'll be 2-1. But the Steadfast Witch Hunter is still able to play, especially after the Keeper comes in. He can use that Keeper for a attack, or even just sacrifice it immediately and then have the Steadfast Witch Hunter ready for another military attack.
He can also just sacrifice the Steadfast Witch Hunter to ready the Borderlands Defender, correct?
That's also true. It depends on what he wants to get from his next attack. If he really wants the military, killing a keeper for the Witch Hunter makes sense. But if he really wants to have some defense ready, he can go for the Borderlands Defender. But it seems like Joe is signaling, or Kift is signaling, he doesn't have other conflict characters right now, other than
Right.
Kazue, or else that would have been played immediately.
I would probably I don't know if I play the Causeway there. I'm trying to think. You have 6 fate, but also you can build board back pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. So if he has Kazue in hand, he can play her as just a body. You probably want to put 1 to 2 fate on them, and then what?
I don't think you
Then
put
next turn.
I don't think you put fate. Oh, here, yes you do. Yeah, here you put at least 1 fate on her if you play her from hand.
Yeah, I think that's definitely got to be what happens here.
Because then
sure
if he has any others in hand, like if he has 2 in hand, he can play 1, drop a fate during Dynasty phase, discard the other to add a fate to her, and she'll stick around for quite a while.
Absolutely. Yep.
The question is just, does he have it?
And I'm not sure what they're thinking about right now. I guess is Kift just deciding if he wants to put Kazue into this fight? He Miyamoto's Fury. Okay. So that's still enough for break, which probably means he's got a second Miyamoto's Fury in hand.
Was this conflict declared military or was it declared political?
I believe it was declared military, and then it was swapped to Rally the Cause.
Okay.
Okay. So one Miyamoto's Fury comes down. Not going to have too much of an effect here. And the Rally of the Cause gets broken. I believe it is forced to discard the Ascetic Visionary. I don't think Kift's going to be too broken up about that one. And the Keeper Initiate comes out for Joe. So yeah, at the middle of turn 2 here, it seems like Joe is in a strong position. And I think
here we see the Kazue
to hold on here. by keep playing good characters, trying to win on the fate game. He's going to be a lot better once the Steadfast Witch Hunter goes away. He'll no longer be super down on board state. Spyglass is going to be nice because it's going to allow him to draw at least one more card. And it'll be Khift's action. And I think we might see an Earth Ring here trying to hit Joe's hand. Yep, there it is. Probably rally the cause. And political. Might not be the right choice here since he does have the favor. But we don't know his hand, so he probably has another Kitsuki's method ready to go.
He
Joe defends.
He only runs one Kitsuki's method. So, but he has 2 fans and a Kitsuki's method left. That he could have.
He also might have a court games. That might be the other thing. It's only one, but at least it's something. He draws a card for the Spyglass. And I think Joe's content losing this fight a little bit as long as he doesn't have a break. Okay. And there we go. Ooh, display of power being dropped from Joe. And Khift draws a card. But there's going to be one more undefended attack coming down here. In politics, that's probably why he chose to keep the Borderlands Defender up. I think we're going to see...
This has to be Void, yeah. Sense? This has to be Void on the hit back. You're swinging in for 4. You can solo break pretty much anything with Void.
Yeah.
No fate.
There's still a Meditations... or a rest. Nope, no Meditations. There's still a Fertile Soil and a Shameful Display missing. Neither of those are too awful right now. I think the worst one to hit would be Manicured Garden, just in case there's another Tattooed Wanderer in hand. Again, unlikely.
Or a Miramoto's Fury.
Mm-hmm. Action 1, Khift takes the honor. Joe's content to pass. And we'll see if another Fury happens. That's going to put him in a weird spot. With 3 broken provinces.
Fury saves the province. You don't really want to go down 3 provinces.
Yep. But it looks like I think they've both passed. And we're just waiting on something. Yeah, so what does Khift need to do next turn? He's going to have 8 fate to Joe's 8. Joe is only going to have a Borderlands Defender and a Keeper. And if he loses Causeway, he's going to be put on a back foot and will need to defend a lot and maybe even pass the first conflict. It's not something you necessarily want to do, but it will allow you to stay on the board.
Yeah.
Maybe just put fate on characters.
Well, the one saving thing for Khift is how quickly he can rev up if he gets the right cards, and the fact that I'm almost positive that underneath his stronghold is an entrenched position.
Mm-hmm.
And so Joe is going to need a very large military attack to get through that stronghold.
That's very true. And I think the other thing will be turn 1 or conflict 1. If he does choose to go for it, he'll go Void and try to get that Keeper Initiate into play for free. And that'll give him a little bit more holding power. But 2 characters on the board to 0 is going to be rough. Okay. He's choosing to, Togashi has to go away. And I think you really need some Agasha Swordsmith, need 10 Adepts, something like that can just flood the board and also gain some sort of board advantage at the same time. And there we go. This is actually a really great flop for Khift. I expect to see Swordsmith, Niten Adept, and the Doom Shigenja coming out this turn.
I agree with that.
On the terms of Joe, Intimidating Hida is a really good choice here. Khift is on the back foot. He doesn't necessarily want to make a lot of conflicts because it'll open him up to undefended conflicts later. He chooses to go with Suichi instead since he does have a single holding, which means he's going to get the free fate from it. And Covert's also really good for getting undefended attacks when the opponent has few characters. Yep, and here comes the Niten Adept with 1 fate. Joe's got nothing left to play and elects to take the fate from the pass. And we've got one more Agasha Swordsmith coming out with a fate on it. That's going to be nice. It'll at least it'll 100% work for the Niten Adept to get a free bow. I don't think Joe really has many attachments, especially not with 2 cards. Both players probably going to bid 1 this turn.
Yeah, I can't imagine Joe is going to be too excited to give up honor pressure here, especially when he just needs to bust 1 province.
A 2 pronged attack here. 1-1. We'll head into the first pre-conflict phase. Gasha Swordsmith has already been used in 1 step. We could very likely see a Void Ring come here. Try to get a extra keeper out there. Maybe use the Niten Adept. Nothing else really is too helpful here. Water would be able to bow the Keeper Initiate, but again, it's only a 1/1. Earth Ring would probably be pretty big. I could see Earth Ring happening. Joe, again, only has 3 cards. Air Ring would be helpful to get him back into the game. Fire Ring, it might be the right time. It does have 2 fate on it. I can still understand if Khift wants to try for Mantra of Fire, but without any monks on the board, it's kind of a marginal benefit. And Void is useful because it gives you a keeper. I think Earth or Air is probably what we're likely to see here.
So chat is saying Joe should have drawn here. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. With Khift needing to break 3 provinces, Khift cannot win this turn. Joe will be going first. If Khift goes here and takes the air ring to go up to 5 honor, you throw the dishonor strategy out the window. But keeping Khift drawing cards, the cards he had didn't help him win on that last turn. And so you let him sit with the hand he has. You don't let him draw. You don't let him draw next turn when he can more likely defend that. And you're going first. You don't have to break here as Joe. You have to break on the next turn, but you don't have to break here.
Yeah, I think the best play for Joe right now is to play a little conservatively. Keep using the Void Ring to take fate off of their characters. You're going to keep 2 big characters for the next round, and then you can pop off with an Intimidating Hida, probably drop the Yojimbo, and swing in with a big military attack or even a political attack next turn.
Yeah, I do think if that's the plan, though, and I think that's the best plan, I think you do drop the Intimidating Hida here instead of the Suichi. I don't know how to pronounce that
Suichi? Sushi. Sure. Yeah. But Suichi, again, does have Covert, which is going to be very helpful for Khift's small board state. All right, and I think both players have passed, and we're thinking about Fire Ring, maybe Void Ring for
there's a nice chunk of fate on that Fire Ring, and I think at this point Khift has to be looking at letting the Mantra of Fires go. Yep.
Yeah. That's 2 fate. It's going to be very helpful for maybe another Kazue, potentially another Tattooed Wanderer. Probably Doom Shigenja makes sense because it's not going to be able to be watered later down the line. Attacking the Imperial Storehouse seems to make sense. It's going to force Shuichi into the fight if he wants to gain that honor. Otherwise, it might break and lose it. Borderlands Defender might come down also and just prevent the break. Another reasonable play. A lot of options here for Khift. None of them amazing. That's a big attack.
So with this, we could see him charge in that intimidating Hita, because then he'd be on the board, and Khift is signaling that I don't think he plans to make 2 attacks this turn.
Yeah, and I think he even wants to just discard the intimidating Hita right now, so it's not an issue next turn at the very least. Okay, and 2 defenders coming down. For Joe, it's going to put them 5-4.
Quickly go 5-6 with the Crab Stronghold. Oh.
Yep, the Watch Commander comes down. That means anytime Khift decides to play a card into this conflict, it's going to cost him an honor, something he has precious few of at the moment. Khift will then pass, followed immediately by the castle to bring Joe up to 7 to Khift's 5.
Yeah, this Watch Commander pretty much turned off that Niten Adept. Because if he was able to put an attachment on there, this is a much different conflict.
Mm-hmm. He still has to weigh. Oh, never mind. That's a pass from both players. Joe will win the fire ring, and everyone else will go home. Shuichi's going to get an undefended water attack here. I can't imagine anything else coming down. Might as well.
I don't know. You have first attack, so if you go undefended air here, it puts Khift down to 1 honor, and with the Watch Commander sticking around for next turn, I guess he does have Let Go. So that's not a great play. But then if you'll get first attack next turn as Joe, and if you go air ring into the stronghold, he has to win the conflict, not just prevent the break to not lose the game.
That's true. So my thought on the water, though, is it has a fate on it. It can be used to unbow the Borderlands Defender, and then he can do a second undefended attack, or a second attack at the very least.
Yeah, I think there's validity in both.
Yeah, and I guess you go. I guess you go military here potentially, right? Because you can swing in with a 4 strength Borderlands Defender next turn, or next attack. Yep, entrenched position. This is not an attack meant to win. This is an attack. Oh, Miyamoto's? No, a favorable mount. Okay, that makes sense. This mount's here simply to prevent the honor loss from undefended. Joe will gain his fate from Shuichi, and that enables him to then use the storehouse and draw another card. Excellent. Khift is loading up on attachments. So when the Niten Adept gets in there, that is not what you want to see.
He has to have at least 1 Let Go in there.
Okay, Let Go happens. It's back to Joe. I don't think he has another attachment, but he does. Shuichi doesn't really want to let go of that sword, apparently. That's going to stop the Niten Master, or Niten Adept, excuse me, from bowing Shuichi, as of course it reads bow a character without attachments. It's 7-0. Still not enough to break, but it will be enough to win the fight and unbow the Borderlands Defender, who will swing in with a political strength 4 attack soon. Khift had the option to attack right now. He might throw down a Tattooed Wanderer. Kitsuki's method. Attacking is interesting here. It would force... Well, it doesn't force anything, but he has to make the choice of how bad would it be if my attack went undefended, and then as a result, the Borderlands Defender could attack.
Yeah, because you really want to go Void here to get the you could go void here because then if it's undefended, you win it and
Keeper back.
you get your keeper back to not get an undefended.
Yeah, and hey, you might even break it at the same time, right? You've got 6 strength. Air. Yep, this is pretty reasonable. The big question here is, what is Joe's last card? Because if Joe's last card is a fan, it's game over. All right, 6-0 currently. Yeah, so this is really decided by whether or not, yep,
Yeah,
he's got a conflict card in hand, and it sounds like he does.
It's not even that. I think regardless of what's in your hand, you let this one go and let it break. You still, he still has to win 2 conflicts next turn. You're going first. You just have to go 1. You know exactly what you're hitting.
All right. Void makes sense here. At the very least, you can clean up, get rid of that Nitan Adept who's got a fair amount of attachments that are good. Agasha Swordsmith would be fine. It's 5. He just needs a single buff in hand. But it sounds like Joe doesn't have it. Just takes the Void Ring. He's going to maintain the favor.
Oh, no.
And we're going to go into turn 4.
It looked like, maybe I missaw it. It looked like Khift just spent a fate. Maybe it just was a visual bug, or it looked like the fate looked like honor to me, or vice versa.
I think.
Oh, he was putting the fate. Yeah, he's putting the fate off
from the Void Ring.
Yep, that's what it
from
was.
From the Nitan Adept.
I saw him put a fate in the bag, and I was like, What's he doing?
Yeah, so here's an interesting choice. He chose to go for the Nitan Adept over the Agasha Swordsmith. The Swordsmith is going to keep drawing attachments, but the Nitan Adept is a threat that I don't know if it's too big right now because both of his big characters, both the Borderlands Defender and Suichi, have 1 attachment each. So not too big of trouble there.
And he signaled that he doesn't have another let go in hand already.
All right, Kasada comes down. Going to see probably 2 fate on that. I think we're going to have the big swing here at the start of turn 1. And I could also see an honor bid of 5 or 4, something big for Joe. Maybe 3. I think he's kind of a conservative honor bidder. Yeah, funny thing though, with Kasada, he's basically said your entrenched position is the same, right? If Kasada swings in politically, he's 2, and if he swings in militarily, that's going to be 7 minus 5, so about equal there. Whoa, hold on, what was that? Yeah, someone did an honor bid, and it looks like a card from the Dynasty deck went flying off there. That's a strange thing, but we're back into it. The rewind seemed to go back into effect without too much of an issue, and we're into the honor bid phase. Joe, probably a 3. And Khift, probably a 2.
1.
Nope, 1 to 1.
Whoa.
All right.
I don't necessarily agree with that from Joe. With 4 honor, I don't think you're winning on honor here. Because especially now that he knows the Watch Commander's there, all the attachments are going to come out pre-conflict. But I guess that also helps you because he doesn't know which type of attachment to put on.
Yeah. Okay, Spyglass. That's a pretty good card here. It's just basically 1 extra political. I think Joe is probably going to swing in hard on Earth this turn. At the very least, if he wins the fight, air, excuse me. He's going to swing air. He's going to covert the Nitan Master, who's probably going to get thrown back in with a favored mount, knowing the dragon. And then with that air ring, he's going to get both of his keepers back, which can either defend whichever character he chose to halt with the covert, as well as potentially make a second political attack and go for the break.
Yeah, and we see the Tattooed Wanderer coming down here just to prevent the Ni-10 Master from getting coverted.
Mm-hmm. As of course, covert only stops characters without covert from defending. The Agasha Swordsmith, though, will not be able to participate in this conflict. There it is, wants the keeper. As a bonus, you also get a little bit of honor pressure. This is military. I don't know why he didn't change the favorite to military. I think he could have foreseen this coming. He's got 7, 12, 14, 16, which isn't a whole lot, actually, because he needs to break by 12. And the Ni-10 Master is currently going to be sitting at 3.
So yeah, Joe can safely go all in here because if it goes belly up, he does have the favorable ground. He could pull back
7, 12,
Casato or somebody if he's not going to break.
Okay. There we go. 18 to 3. That 3 is going to go up to 5 with the castle. And we also have favorable grounds on this side of Joe, which is going to be very helpful for disengaging if this is no longer going to be a breaking attack. You'd probably take back Suichi, as covert has already done its duty.
We need Khift needs an action to feed to Casada if he wants to Mountain's Anvil here.
Yeah, maybe a favored mount, something like that. But he's got 1 fate left.
And he's going to lose honor for anything he plays.
Yeah, this doesn't look too great for Khift, especially with the Suichi counterattack again. Khift has 6 cards in hand to Joe's 2. I can't look at the discard piles, but I think there's not too many katanas left. I think we've seen at least 2. I know no daishas have showed up, but it's still not going to be enough to push him out of the 12 territory. Currently, Joe is up 15 to 3.
Yeah, so you need 2 pumps here. Casada cancels that. I don't know if Khift did that intentionally.
Yeah, I think he did. It's just not much you can do about it. Bonsai is going to give him a larger difference. Watch Commander costs an extra fate. That's bringing him down to 2. Yeah, this is dangerous territory.
And here, if this Imperial Favor had been switched to military, Joe wins the game. Because he would still be winning by 12, and there's nothing Khift could do, because if he plays a card, he has to win the conflict or he loses the game.
Yeah. Yep, there's the favorable ground. Suichi's definitely coming back home. Maybe the Borderlands defender, but I think I don't know about this. I don't know about that, but I think he's in a strong enough position. Khift is sitting now at 1 honor.
So yeah, so Khift can't swing in here, unless he has another Tattooed Wanderer in hand.
And the 2 keepers come out as well. 1 from the Dynasty provinces and 1 from the Dynasty discard. Should be 2. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, so if he brings back the Shuichi, he can just covert the Agasha Swordsmith. But I guess he readies Ni-10 Master, and it doesn't matter with the covert.
Mm-hmm. So I think you then swing in with water here as Khift, trying to stop the Borderlands defender at the very least, force it into the conflict. And then the Ni-10 Master should be able to handle whatever political attack Joe has with 2 keepers. Something he's got to worry about is potentially hitting a Shameful Display. He chooses Void instead of Water. Void, of course, will allow him to get his keepers back into the field. And he's going to go with the Ni-10 Master, who has a military strength of 5. Nope, he does choose water. Okay, that's what I would have gone with. Shameful Display, that sucks. As we know, he's not going to be able to play a single card this conflict. or else he just loses the game.
No, because the Borderlands Defender isn't in there.
Oh, fair. Probably should have the Borderlands Defender. Oh, what is going on?
I think he wants the Borderlands Defender to swing in against the Agasha Swordsmith.
Oh, Court Games gets canceled by Casada. That sucks. That's. I think he was relying on that.
Yeah.
It is now 4-2. It's looking like this attack will not succeed. He's got 4 cards left to Joe's 2. That's the end of that. Water Ring will be Joe's.
Now you swing fire here if you're Joe.
Oh, the last dice show count. The last fate gets spent onto a dice show. Reading the Niten Master, he's got 2 attachments that are limited, so he's fine there. A Tattooed Wanderer as well as a Spyglass. Borderlands Defender is going to swing in politically. He's got 3 fate left on the board. I could see fire being the optimal choice here. Earth is interesting. It is a fate. Why Earth? What does Earth get you? Just cards?
I think
Fair
you
enough.
go fire here 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, fire here. You can dishonor the Agasha Swordsmith and force an honor loss or game loss on the.
And you don't really
fate
care
dice.
about. And you don't really care about Mantra of Fire. Well, does Mantra who? How does that work? What's the exact timing on conflicts? Do you declare Borderlands Defender as participating in the conflict, select Fire Ring, so that Mantra of Fire would proc Watch Commander, or is it Fire Ring then you select the attackers?
That's a tough question. One's a reaction.
Yeah,
And I think the character's already in the conflict because you've declared where you're going and who's in it. So I think Mantra Fire would be honor loss.
Okay,
So,
that's what I thought. But I didn't know exactly when things were done.
okay. 5-6. Um, Now, if this is Suichi, he would be in a better spot here, I think. Forcing the Niten Master in. Watch Commander is strong, though. Okay. Earth Ring is probably not going to trigger. And I think we're going into the next round. Way of the Crab happens. That's going to be rough. I think the Niten Master has to die here. Oh, Niten Master cannot die.
Yeah.
That's going to be the game.
Yeah. It's either going to be undefended or you lose on honor from the Niten Master dying.
Yeah, looks like it didn't matter anyway, I guess. Depending on what ring he chose. That's got to be GG. 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 All right. That was an interesting game. I think you can say that was purely defined on Joe's Way of the Crab. It not only killed an E10 Master when it still had a fate left, but it won the game there in a wonderful split that either caused an undefended attack on the Stronghold, as well as a break on the Stronghold, I might add. I might not add that. That's incorrect. Don't listen to me. But there we have it. Congratulations to Joe, HatamotoJoe. He will be moving in to round 2. And that's actually 2 dragons eliminated from the top 16 today. Both of those players were very high in the both dragon out.
Yeah,
that's rough. They were top 2 seeds.
Yeah, not even just dragon. Our number 1 and number 2 seeds are out.
It shows you how much this game can come down to the matchups and draws, and just again, well played to both players.
Yeah, that's a great game. Way of the Crab coming in huge. That's crucial in this matchup. Anything that can get a Voltron off the board is going to be huge in this matchup. And unfortunately, I don't think Khift got the flops that allowed him to properly play around Way of the Crab.
Yeah, I think an extra Tattooed Wanderer in hand, maybe the Aichi Wayfinders instead of the Mantra of Fires would have helped here a lot. But sometimes you got to build a deck that's good against a lot of different a lot of different clans, and this one just happened to have a rougher crab matchup. Fewer one-cost conflict characters. Cool. So, any other thoughts?
No, I think that the big takeaway for me after these two games this morning is just that Dragon has weaknesses. I know I've seen a lot of talk about like, oh, this deck is just oppressive and unstoppable, and we saw two different flavors, and it got taken out kind of in two different ways. Way of the Crab is kind of some Voltron hate, and earlier Lion just took it down with good, smart playmaking and kind of fierce honor management, which is also what we saw here. I mean, it was Way of the Crab, but it was also a fierce honor management on Joe's part. A lot of chat saying that Joe should have bid 5, and I think Joe showed that he knew what he was doing a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And I think he sat on that Way of the Crab for a while. He only had 2 cards in hand for the longest time, and he was just looking for the right opportunity to use it. And it turned out that this last turn was. Yeah, it was a very, very good play on both players. And yeah, I'm happy to see where this Discord League will end up. We have, what was it this morning? There was 1 Lion now and 1 Crab in the top 8.
Yep, it was because I think Crab and Lion pretty much round out the bottom 4, and so 2 of those have advanced, and the top 2 have fallen already. Mm-hmm. And the week is just getting started.
And if I might plug myself here for a second, Aggro Craig, check out my stream today, twitch.tv/Void Circuit, for a game at 3 p.m. Eastern, where we'll have a second Crab going against a Scorpion.
Yeah, definitely check that out. Should be a good game, good commentary, good time.
Cool.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to sign off. Great game, and I hope to see a bunch more this weekend and into next week.
Thanks for having me.
Yep, thanks for coming along. Bye, everybody.